Hello, Mike here from the Ground to Green Homestead. Wanted to do an overview of our chicken run and our chicken coop here. So got a little newer camera, so gonna do our first video with the Sony camera here, and I'm excited to share an overview of our coop and all the hard work and maybe some ideas if you're looking at building a coop and looking to do a similar setup. So without further delay here, we do have the prefab coop over there that we have plans for in the future, but it's just housing the baby chick and the adopted mom there for the second. But here's a long overview of our attached run, our chickens do not free range, and our prefab metal coop. So the run is fully wood framed. It's attached to our 6-foot privacy fence, and then the entire enclosure is completely surrounded with hardware mesh. What's the matter, Franklin? You mad I'm shooting a video? Now they're freaking out. That happens from time to time, but I just gotta give them some treats and they seem to settle down. You guys want some treats? Yeah, they love anything green. They're trained to my whistle. Love anything green. That's the main attraction. I've greatly enjoyed keeping chickens. It's something about them, their quirky little personalities and pecking order, and obviously the food and meat they provide. It's all, and I do enjoy keeping chickens, and that's why we have gone so thorough. So I did a 40 by 16 foot run. I wanted ample room for them to all run around, for them not to be cramped. It was very important to me if I couldn't have them free range. And I've tried various things, and some things work and some things don't. I gave them roosting bars. They liked those. I did a salad bar. They liked that so much they tried to dig it up, and that's why that's got pavers on it. I tried swings. That's what those hooks are for. They did not like the swings. I tried a chicken xylophone. They didn't really care for that. But back to the run itself. We've got these concrete pavers completely surrounding the inside. It's kind of overgrown, but the outside of our run. And we have a predator apron, if you haven't seen any of my previous videos. So it is very hard for something to get in here. The hardware mesh itself is, it's rolled over like 3 or 4 rolls and metal zip ties together in the centers, and it just kind of sits loosely on the support, so I can get sticks off of it or what have you. I didn't want it necessarily taut. Snow as well just makes it easier to maintain. These center supports for the run, they're bracket and screwed into these riser posts, and everything's pneumatic stapled. And some people are leery about staples, and you can't just use like an electric stapler. This is one of those pneumatic staplers, and the depth is turned up, and this is not going anywhere. This is very secure. I mean, I went probably every inch, maybe sometimes less, the bottom, the middle, and the top with staples, and nothing's getting in here. I haven't had any attempts, but I know this is very secure. And never mind the trough feeder. That was kind of a failed attempt at trying that, and it does not work how I want it to. So some changes this spring and summer are due for our coop, but I wanted to get an overview of what we have right now before we do some updates. I bought an Aero manufactured fabricated metal shed, and we modified it to be our chicken coop. Chicken coops a lot of times are typically like this. This is what you're typically advertised to get, and they way overestimate how many chickens you can fit in it. Not that this is necessarily a bad setup, just not ideal for what we want to do. We wanted more chickens, and we wanted more space, and we wanted something that would withstand the elements and last some time. So that's why we went with this prefab metal shed. It's on a raised deck. It's technically not considered a permanent structure because it is not permanently affixed to the ground. That raised base just kind of sits there, and those supports run 10 feet, so it technically could be picked up. I mean, you would need something pretty substantial to pick it up, a piece of equipment, but you could do it. So it's not considered a permanent structure. I added these windows for ventilation. Ventilation is very important for coops. Coops get hot and stuffy, and you don't want your chicks having respiratory issues, so it's got a regular screen on the inside, and to keep anything else from trying to get in, I added a wood frame and some hardware mesh, and the wood frame supports the window itself as well as the hardware mesh. Now, one of my favorite features about our coop is the nesting box that we did. We wanted to be able to get our eggs on a daily basis without having to actually go inside the coop. I know some people like that. I didn't necessarily want to walk through chicken coop every day. So we have our nesting box, simple gate latch, opens, hinge setup, and then we bought the Harris Farms prefab metal nesting boxes and affixed them with another wood frame behind this. Can't see it from the outside, and this is very convenient. Just open it, grab your eggs, deal with a broody hen or two, and I haven't noticed the eggs being broken into by having these nesting boxes. The bottoms pop out, so it's very easy to clean. Only con is these nesting boxes do get cold in the winter. So last winter, for example, I had to add cardboard to help prevent the eggs from freezing, to add some insulation. Don't worry, those are just the dummy eggs. We took them out. We've been having them in and out. We try to take them out when they start to get broody, because I noticed they like to, even if it's not a real egg, they will lay on it and sit on it and try to hatch it. So I don't always want them trying to hatch eggs. So coming around here again, there's more pavers, more predator apron, a bait pack. We actually, because this is considered a shed on our accessory shed on our property, our pest control provider puts down bait traps. So that's very convenient, especially for those little crawling pests that like to eat chicken feed. So we just have a very simple lock to hold the door shut so nothing can get this open at night. And we got some ladies hiding in here, of course. And I tried to make this coop as user-friendly as possible. So I have this kind of 1x4 two-board high wall, because they love to get shavings inside that track there. And then I wanted to see how well that worked, so I just added these dog kennel bottoms just to kind of try to keep the shavings in. I didn't have that in beforehand, and as you can see, they spread the shavings all around. They get them everywhere. Well, they like to get them in that track, and then it's very hard to open the door. There's the nesting boxes. You can see, I'll zoom in a little bit. And of course the broody hen's sitting right at the very front of it. But Harris Farms nesting boxes, those smaller ones have been roosting at night on those front bars, and hopefully as they get bigger, they have plenty of room. They will go to these larger bars. Now, these roosting bars, I made all of them removable, so I'm not gonna pull all of them out, but you can see, for example, you can just lift up on those, or lift up on this one, and those lift right out of there. So I rounded the edges on these brackets. These are just simple hanger brackets I got at the hardware store, and that butts up right next to the window. That's fine. I know they're not getting out of the window, especially with the hardware mesh, and that makes it easy for me to get back in there and clean thoroughly. Or maybe they laid an egg. They did that earlier. They laid an egg on the ground there, and I had to get to the back so I could lift up all these roosting bars, and they're higher than the nesting boxes, so in theory all of them should avoid those bars and go to these nice bars. I painted them so with a durable paint to prevent splintering. Trying to think of anything else I want to mention. Oh, the arrow sheds. The roof is kind of flimsy, so I reinforced the roof with 2x4s. This top channel isn't really quite the thickness of a 2x4. Maybe, well, a little less with the insulation because this roof did like to sweat a little bit this last winter, but it was close enough I could kind of wedge that in there and reinforce that roof, so if anything falls on the roof, the chickens are protected, because we do have a tree above the coop here. Oh, the bottom. This is very important. Your bottom, when you prepare your coop, you can do all sorts of bottoms. You can do a dirt bottom, concrete bottom, what have you. We chose a linoleum bottom, because linoleum doesn't rot, for one, and it's super easy to clean. Now these, don't worry, I'll wash my hands, but just for reference, I can move these shavings out of the way, and I can just literally brush those out of the way. And Kathy's probably going to brush them back. But, anywho, I can brush those shavings out of the way. It's super easy to clean up. Very, very easy to put the litter down. Very easy to clean up. I wanted something that was user-friendly. And then when I'm done, I just close it up here and lock it up for the night. Wanted to make it very easy to access, very easy to clean, because if it's a headache, you're just going to get bored of it and you're going to get sick of it and you aren't going to want to do it anymore. So moving on to our quick overview of our run. I have this panel door over the fence gate. Now I realize this is not completely predator proof. These openings are a little larger than what's the wording I want to use? Then all the predators that could get in. I am going to update this. I tried some different things last year and I wasn't really pleased with it, so the roof is gonna get pitched more. I'm gonna redo the top corrugated metal panels. This has been their shade area, and anywho, I got my coop tools hanging on the outside here. Got one of those little nifty metal hanging hooks. I got my net to catch chickens because chickens are faster than me. I got the broom there to either brush the coop or hit the solar panel for the automatic coop door during the wintertime. Rakes must, shovel self-explanatory, and a little cleaning brush. I've used that to clean poop off some things. So I'm not going to do a full review on this, but there's our ladies first automatic chicken coop door. I plan to do a review on that at some point, but it works, it serves our needs, and they can get in and out during the morning. When it shuts at night, I know they're safe in here. And they're gonna go crazy because I stepped in here, but I just gotta toss some treats down, and they go. Now there's some wet feed. They'll get a little calmer. But I use gravity feeders, just some good old galvanized gravity feeders. I like these. They're easy to clean out. They're easy to fill. They just work. Same thing for the waters. I got a galvanized water. See someone wanted to stand on it and poop on it, that'll happen. And then I got a larger 5-gallon water. But I like the gravity fed stuff. That bowl there is kind of for scraps, that like eggshells and other bio waste. And you can see they all have plenty of room to frolic. They have plenty of room to play, and unfortunately peck each other. And Kathy just jumped up and pecked my finger because she wants treats. So here are my 4 buckets I have set up. I have the most important one. Yes, I know you guys. I got the mealworms for Fly Fiesta. Maybe it's soldier flies. Maybe it's a little both. I forgot what the mix is. It's worms. They love them. They go crazy for them. So I got that in the first bucket. I got some sunflower seed and corn mix for kind of a scratch in the second bucket. I have some more feed pellets in the third. This isn't my primary feed bucket. This is what I keep outside. And then I keep my my calcium grit in that one. I got them all hanging off these handy little dandy hooks to keep other stuff from getting into them. And makes it very convenient. I need to place it. First doing this one hand, just lift it off, place it, dump it, what have you, put it back. So I don't think there's much more that can be said about that. Do have a Ran extension cord this winter. The only thing I ran extension cord for this winter was a de-icer. So that was a low wattage de-icer, and I had that on a GFCI outlet. So if you mention, if people see that and want to mention that, that's what that is. Because de-thawing the waters in the winter is definitely not fun. But here's our humble, not so little chicken run, chicken coop. Feel free to comment on things you like. I mean, I'm open to criticism as well. We're all in this learning and raising chickens for our own benefit, trying to do the best we can. If you like the content, if you like seeing more of our chickens, more Franklin and our Ices and our Plymouths and all the other breeds we got going on here. Little Kathy, say hi, Kathy. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. But until next time, have a good one.